بين المطهرين لا سيما بعد أما بعد فقد قال الله سبحانه وتبارك وتعالى في كتابه المجيد وقرآنه الحميد بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم إن الدين عند الله الإسلام اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد وآل محمد. जिस आय शरीफा का मैंने शरफ़ हासिल किया वो कहती है कि अल्लाह के नज़दीक फ़कत दीन इस्लामी पसंदीदा दीन है. अच्छा मैं इंग्लिश में कहूँ, मैं अभी कम्फर्टेबल. The ayah sharifa which I have taken as the caption of my talk on music, it's haram and halal in Islam, is inna dina inda Allahi al-Islam, that to Allah certainly surely the most loved one, desired one, wished one, deen, religion is Islam. This ayah sharifa has many meanings and very, very deeper meanings in which I am not going to touch them because that is not our subject over here about talking on Islam. It is about the music in Islam. Okay, first of all let me clarify. There are some norms in Islamic law which make the Sharia an easy to apply, which we say as Shariat Sahleha, that easy way. It doesn't give punishment, it doesn't tax, it is very easy, it touches to the nerves of nature, and based on that we find that Islam has laid down certain principles based on which one can say that the thumb rule of Islam is that everything is tayyib wa tahir and halal, permissible, until and unless it is established by degree of certainty to the extent that one can be sure of a certain thing, that I promise and I take oath that so and so thing is oath, promise of Allah Azza wa Jal, that I know for sure that this cup is najis. Until I cannot say with anything with this degree of certainty, everything is pak and everything is halal and permissible. So the first basic thumb rule what has come, that until anything is not established, it is pak and tahir. Because this principle is given by Quran. In Quran we see that there is a list of only najasat and haramat are given. There is no list in Quran of any hiliyat or of tayyibin are given. For example, blood is najis, stool is najis, dog, pig. Dog, pig have come from hadith tawatur, and there are many things like wine is najis. Okay, so whatever is not in that list, it is tahir, and it is, if it is not in the list of any hurma to use or najis to use, you can use it. Number one. Number two, we will keep it. No, we will answer in the end. Yes, we will let it go that way. The second session will be of question answer. The two also will be recorded, but the thing is that we will differentiate between the two. Okay. So the first basic thumb rule is that everything is tahir, everything is halal, until it is not established that this is najis or this is haram. First principle. The second basic code is that Islam is the religion of fitra, the nature. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. فَأَقِمْ وَجْهَكَ لِلدِّينِ حَنِيفًا فَطْرَةَ اللَّهِ الَّتِي فَطَرَ النَّاسَ عَلَيْهَا لَا تَبْدِيلَ لِخَلْقِ اللَّهِ. There is no change in the scheme of creation of Allah, and the nature is, deen is based on nature. So we have got 2 points. Number one, by default najis, nothing is najis and haram. By default, deen is by nature. Now when you come to nature, first of all let us go for hurmat. When we speak of hurmat of music, There are two words that have come in Quran Hakim. That is, one is Lahwil Hadith, and another is Qawl Zur, and third time the term has come as Yashhadu Zur. Yashhadu Zur. Okay, what is Lahwil Hadith? Lahwil Hadith means a foul talk, a meaningless talk, a useless talk, a talk of non-issue. And what is Qawl Zur? Qawl Zur also means the same. Now, in riwayat, it has come, Qawl Zur means music. Yes, it has come. But there is a difference between the expression of Quran Majid for hurma, like of wine, and of music. For hurma, we have the ayat, Innamal khamare wal maisare wal ansabe rijsun wa amalu shaitan. The khamar, khe, wine, maisar, game of chances, wal ansab, this lucky draws. These are haram, and these are najis, and these are the handiwork of shaitan. But nowhere in Quran so explicitly the term of music has come. First of all, after this we will go on defining the terms. What is music, what is ghina, that is singing. That will come in finer details when we reach to that point. Okay. Now, here we see that for wine, for usuri, riba, we have clear ayat. But for music, they are interpreted by the words of Qawl Zur, Lahwil Hadith. When we reflect the meanings, the linguistic meanings of Qawl Zur wa Lahwil Hadith, we find it is a group of many things which come under that umbrella. For example, Qawl Zur is not just music. Lahwil Hadith is not just music. Lahwil Hadith or Qawl Zur means backbiting, nimama, that is allegation, loose talk, filthy talk, false witnesses. These are all under the umbrella of Qawl Zur wa Lahwil Hadith. Okay, so these two terms are used there. That's why there is a riwayat also, Lahwil La'ab. The sports are Lahwil La'ab. So some people in the past, they have said that playing cricket, tennis, badminton, this is also haram. So they made haram every sport. That's a different issue where we are not going now. Okay. The way khamar, usuri, these things have come, in that way music has not come. Number one. Number two, when you go to investigate the meaning of the terms, the etymology of a word, the historical development of its meaning in Arabic culture or any language, you take the word, we find that ghina, it is translated as singing. But technically, ghina is modulation of voice. In Arabic, in riwayat, by istinbat, the meaning has come as tarji', te, re, jim, ye, ayn. Tarji', this tarji' is root is raja'a, raj'at. Inna lillahi wa inna ilayhi raji'un. This is same raja. The same raja has come for tarji'. What is meant by tarji'? Tarji' means if you are taking out any sound in modulation at a limited level, it is not tarji'. For example, every tune has certain musical notes, because no tune is without the 7 musical notes or the notes of octaves. Okay, sa, re, ga, ma, pa, ta, ni, sa. These are 8. These are the octaves. Okay, so there is nothing. Now, if you say that this is all haram, then those who are expert in this field, which I checked with, because all Maharajas say that we have to check the experts in this field. So I had the opportunity to check what is ghina, what is tarb, poerebe, and what is tarji, to the highest authority of music in India, to whom every grand musician submits to him as he is the topmost, whether it is Pandit Jasraj or Hari Prasad Chaurasia or Zakir Hussain. And that person was the first person who was given Bharat Ratna award alive. Otherwise, Bharat Ratna is given only in posthumous after death. And that was Ustad Bismillah Khan. I had the opportunity to meet him. I took his interview and I conducted his majlis at my place. So I asked that whether Ayatollah Sistani or Ayatollah Hui or Ayatollah Hakim, they all put on the experts of the field. In my view, in India and Pakistan, there is no such person whom I can say that he is the mujtahid. Yani, he is the authority and the most scholarly person in the art of music. Okay? So I asked him. Then he explained to me. The result was that next day, my son, who was at the time 8 years, he said, Papa, the Muazzin giving azan, it is haram. The reason is that he did not know what is music. Why it is necessary to know and learn what is haram and halal, or what is music and what is haram and halal music, so that, number one, we have the opportunity, if we have the talent, to go in that field, number one. And number two, we have to be on a safeguard so that we may not go in the area which is haram. Until we know, how can we save ourselves? And always there should be a thumb rule that always, it is better to know than not to know. That is my life motto. In any field or any subject, any faculty, I say, it is always better to know than not to know. So based on this, I studied for quite a long time. Then I happened to be with some fuqaha of Home and Najaf, and this is one of the book on the subject. Besides this, I have my own work, which I will reveal and I will disclose about my work on this. I have some riwayat which are Sahih al-Asnad and which are not covered in this book. Only one of them is covered. So there are two types of music. Number one, okay, ghina is singing, but every singing is not ghina. I tell you, what is my tarji? I give you an example. Tarji means from one note to the other note, you have to take it in a cyclic way. For example, I can give you an example. I am just playing one lay and I am showing that this is not real tarji. Then I will give the example of what is tarji. This is only lay. What is tarji? You might have seen the classical men that they play all 7 notes of the music in one go. This you are doing, this is ghina. This is ghina. Besides that, it is not ghina. Besides that, it may come in tarb, but not in ghina. Okay. So this was ghina. And then there are types of music. There are occasions of music. For example, we have the music that comes from the courtiers of the richest. In the view of the great alim who died in 1900 and whose tafsir is also very famous. I just forgot his name. I will tell you in the due course. He said that the music which belonged to the era of Bani Umayyah and Banu Abbas, only that one is haram. And in riwayah, the music has come, the haram music has come, which relates to the music of the time of Jahiliyyah. Music is different, ghina is different. Ghina is vocal, music can be with vocal or instrumental. Okay. There are two types. One is that is coming from the quarters of the riches, that was from the Jahiliyyah. And the other is the one that comes from the temples, synagogues, churches, masajid. Lahuddimat sawami obiyon. Quran says, Lahuddimat sawami obiyon. Wa masajid yuskarullaha kasira. That is, if there were not two forces at any given time, then the entire churches, synagogues, temples and masajid where the name of Allah is taken, they could have been demolished down. Okay? It means that always in the Allah's scheme that there will be two forces, so that number one, people may be saved. When they will fight each other, the entire mankind cannot be finished. So first music is that which comes from the courtiers of the riches. The second music is that which comes from the temples, synagogues, like the Psalms of David. There is a famous poem of Imam Ali when he was passing by after Siffin. With him was Abul Aswad al-Dawli and Asbaq bin Nubata. Asbaq bin Nubata was the Sahabi of Aameen Islam, of his secrets. The Fadail or Manaqib, we Imam did not used to say to the public or to the general companions, used to say him. Asbaq bin Nubata, Sasa ibn Sohan, these are the two people who were there at the time of his Shahada, who came up to his home. So he asked, Asbaq, do you know what this Nakhus, the bell of the church, is saying? He said, Ya Ali, I don't know. Then he said on the rhythm, La ilaha illallah haqqan qasidqan khalasna nadri ma faratna ma min yawmin yawm jannah. It is a composition of 28 verses and all are on pure Tawheed. The tun, which is used in poetry in all meters of Bahar, and the tun, the same voice that comes on the string, this one tun is the base and foundation of both poetry of Arabic, Urdu and Persian, and the same tune is the basic and foundation of music. A good poet is one who knows music, and a good musician is the one who knows poetry. Suppose if I am a poet and I want to write something which is to be sung in the morning, so I should know what ragas are to be played in the morning, so that in that I will compile my ghazal with the theme, with the words and the poetry that can be sung in the morning. What can be for the evening, what can be for the night, what can be for afternoon. So a good poet, I am not speaking of the poets now or the musicians now, I am speaking classical like Ghalib, Mir Taqi Mir. They were very good, even Miranis, they were all good at the knowledge of music. So always knowing is better than not knowing. With that rule and with the other rule that everything is halal and pak until it is established it is haram and najis. And the third principle is that deen is on fitrah. So what is our fitrah? We have got one music of courtiers, the other music coming from the churches, synagogues, as I have given an example of Imam Ali's one. Okay. Besides this, there are two types of music, haram or halal. In haram, I will say pop, the music that resembles to the music of buyutul ghina. In riwayat it has come that the buyutul ghina music is haram. What is my buyutul ghina? Buyutul ghina we take as singing houses. Suppose whatever general people and general public understand with this is that suppose if there is any musical concert at my home, then people will say, oh, this is Baitul Ghina. No. I'm sorry, this is not Baitul Ghina. It's some occasion, marriage or any such occasion where this is going on. Baitul Ghina means during the time of Jahiliyyah and during the time of Bani Umayyah and Banu Abbas, besides their courts, okay, beside their palaces, there are some places in the city where there were houses, they were built by them, where people used to come for wine, for drinking, for dancing, and every some standard action there. They were called as Buyutul Ghina. In Lughatil Arabiya, Buyutul Ghina means they are not houses of people, they are houses where, in our today's language, we can say they are the pubs, clubs, where this happens. They are not our houses like this. Okay? So the music that resembles to the music of Buyutul Ghina. What is Buyutul Ghina music? If you go to churches or temples, you will find a different touch of music. And if you go to just for study purpose, or now you can see on YouTube the pub music. It is very, as you said, satanic. But if you check to the music from the temple synagogues, first of all, the words, they have some spiritual touch in them, and the lyrics, the tune, they are very soothing to your nerves. For example, let me narrate one tune of one bhajan. The words are very good, but I am not going to those words. Only just as a tune I will just let you know. And I gave this tune to many of our Noah Khans to adopt them in their Nohas or Munajat. One of them has also adopted it, and the other from the synagogues. So I am going to give a demonstration of one line of a bhajan. Just go through its soothing way. So one of the poet has taken that tune and he has composed one munajat in that, because that tune was suitable for a munajat. And this is directed by, on the music direction for this bhajan, it is by A.R. Rahman. It is in Malayali language. La 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 This is one line. In the same way, we have some source salam in these styles. For example, you have just heard this. Now say look for the another line, because this is source, I can recite it. If you go to the musical note, it has resemblance to two ragas, Malkos and Bhairavi, and that is Panu Katha Ye Bayan Shiri Main Bano Nahi Mera Pisar Hai Sarban Shiri Main Bano Nahi Bano ka tha Shiri hai gizi bekhar शेर खुदा की बहू उसका हो यूं सर खुला उसका हो यूं सर खुला शीरी मैं बानो नहीं बानो का था. Okay, this is second. So there are many South Indian, North Indian ragas. Actually the classical music has basically come from the temples. Only the pop, fast music, you call Shaitani music, which is used in pubs, it has its different note. There is one thing called khayal. You might have heard in classical music there is one thing called khayal. In khayal today a very important figure is Kishori Amarkar. Khayal is sung in the night. Khayal means your thoughts that come. So usually these thoughts are mystical thoughts, remembering to Allah. That's why it is called khayal. Okay. Now this was the style, the classical which I was telling. Coming to our subject of nature, when we go to study nature, whether it is the chirping of frogs or insects or birds or water or plants, these are all in musical notes. The rhythm and beat of heart is on set mathematical pattern. So something that which is within you possess, provided you have the stethoscope and you just listen to the heartbeat, you will come to know that it is a very balanced rhythmic tal in the language of music. That is the reason music has been taught in our Hausa Ilmiya under mathematics, because mathematics, the tal, the beat and the node, the ragas, they have all to do with balance in balance of time, rhythm. That's why in the Islamic philosophy, as per Shaykh Mutahari and Shaykh Baqir Sadr, music is taught. What is music? First of all, the term music is very broad. Music is in literature, music singing we say. It is not just only singing. For example, Shaykh Baqir Sadr writes in his book on Tafsir Mawzui al-Quran. Quran is full of musicality. What is musicality? The literal music. وَالشَّمْسِ وَضُحَاهَا وَالْقَمَرِ إِذَا تَلَاهَا وَاللَّيْلِ إِذَا يَغْشَاهَا. It is not about the small surahs and small ayats in words which are rhythmic. The miracle of Quran is that even the ayah sharifa of biggest surah, Suratul Baqarah, and in length bigger ayat, even they also have musical notes. If you look to the small surahs, to the bigger surah, قُلْ هُوَ اللَّهُ أَحَدٌ اللَّهُ الصَّمَدُ لَمْ يَلِدْ وَلَمْ يُولَدْ وَلَمْ يَكُنْ لَهُ كُفُوًا أَحَدٌ إِنَّا أَعْطَيْنَاكَ الْكَوْثَرَ فَصَلِّ لِرَبِّكَ وَانْحَرْ. It is difficult for me to open this subject more than this. There are many things still to come in this beauty of Quran. So one, we have taken the synagogues, and the other we have taken. The third type of music is that music of national integrity. Sare jahan se acha Hindustan wala. Or there are the songs which are in praise of Allah. Ay Malik tere bande hum. These are also. The third type of music, which can be a mix of both. On your using, it may be haram. On using, it may be halal. For example, the songs of love and affection, if they are for husband for wife and wife for husband, they are halal. But if they are for other than them, then they are haram. So it depends on how one uses. The third thing is that music, if it affects you, okay, and if it doesn't affect Abbas Bhai, in that event, for him it is not halal, not haram. For you it is haram. So there are types which we have mentioned, that in nature we find. I have some videos. I will show how the plants sing. The medical technology, the agriculture technology have made such gigantic strides that now man has come to know the musical notes of a plant. Animals, of course, we know. Birds, we know. But plant was a new breakthrough. It came just 6 months before. And if you give me numbers, telephone numbers, I will send the link. Otherwise, I was going to, if there was some facility, I could have shown them on the TV here, if it was possible. Because this was my first session, and I did not have this exposure that such thing will come up. I didn't inform Zehra or Arshad Bhai that if it was there, it was very good. I could have given the demonstrations. The music in water, the music by plants, that is Jamadat, Nabatat, Haywanat, Insan. They all are knitted with music. That is the reason. If you see to the Ayat Sharifa, in one ayat there is a mention of camels, plants, dates, mountains. One may say that what is the point in one ayat, different creations Allah is mentioning. Suppose if there mention is made of plant, there could be a mention of plants, not of animals. But in the same one verse, there are many more verses. I can quote you. In one verse only, you find the mention of mountains, camels, fig, dates, all these others. What is the significance of this? The significance shows that we are all from Jamadat, Nabatat, Haywanat, Insan. We are all one family. And Allah, in this way, in these types of ayat, what He wants to show us, we all belong to one family, the family of Makhluq Ilahi. One of the meanings of Makhluq is Bashar. Bashar is not just human being. There are three meanings. One Bashar is what we take as human being. The second Bashar is every Makhluq, which comes against Khaliq. One is Khaliq and the other is Makhluq. So Khaliq, the Bashar means Makhluq. This I will talk inshallah when I will be given a chance to talk on Innama ana bashar mislukum, which our brothers say that we and Prophet are all Bashar, so we are all equal. What the word means, that is very important. And Sayyidul Shuhada alayhi salam in Dua Arafah, and Imam Ali ibn Salam Zainul Abidin in his sermon in court of Yazid, Darbar Sham, he quoted, my blood, my flesh is the flesh of Rasul, my blood is the blood of Rasul. In that he has used the word Bashar Rasul is my Bashar. Sayyidul Shuhada alayhi salam has said in Dua Arafah that, oh Allah, you have given me the hair and the skin. For skin he has used the word Bashar. So in Arabic the skin has two words. One is Bashar and other is Jild. The difference between these two is very classic to know. I will speak on the subject when I come. At the moment I focus on music. So we have two musics. One is halal from the synagogues, churches, the music which is played during the time of weddings. For example, during the wedding of Masumat Fatimah Zahra Salamu Alaiha, Salama has played daf, and when somebody asked that why are you playing this, she said that let Maula Fatimah Zahra Salamu Alaiha may not feel that she has no mother. So to compensate that place, I am making her not to feel that she has no mother. It is in both Sunni and Shia riwayat. It is in our all classic literature. This is the music. Then we have the music when there is a crop, when agriculture it ripes. The farmers during that time of the year, the season, they enjoy such event. For example, if you say in India we have Ugadi, we have Onam, or we have Nowruz. If you see, these dates are with the difference of 1 week. You will find Ugadi, Onam, Nowruz are coming nearly by a gap of 1 week before or after together. Why? Because they are dependent on the crops, the agriculture. So when a farmer gets his results, Allah gives him, he thanks. So they enjoy. So in the same way, there are many riwayat which say that ghina is haram. There is one riwayat which is usually quoted by our people, al-ghina wa shaddu min al-zina. I told many of the people of Qom and also of Najaf, I asked them, where have you found this riwayat? It has no existence. It has no existence. I asked one senior from the Hausa, he knew me, so he returned back the question to me, asking, Parvez, is it not there in Bahar al-Anwar? I said, see, I am asking you, so you tell me whether you have seen or not. Then I said, there is no such existence of this riwayat. So not only it is a zaif riwayat, but it has no existence. This is getting recorded, and wherever the video may be seen, I will be happy if they can let me know where this riwayat is there, at least as a fake one. What riwayat is there? Actually, this is the verse of a Arabic poet. One verse of 4 verses of a rubai. The riwayat of Rasulullah is al-ghina'u ruqyatu zina. Ruqya means it's a way, or it's a delicate way. But saying this and saying that, ashad is, there makes a big difference. It has no reverence, it has no existence. And if it is there, even if it is there, it says of ghina. Okay? Ghina is only the one which I have defined. It's not just singing. In Arabic, singing is musiqi. But this is ghina, it is limited to that. And second one is the synagogue churches. Third is the music that is played during death anniversaries, or when someone has a crop to enjoy. And now I will quote some riwayat which say that they are haram. They are also there. But in them, there is one thing very significant. For example, riwayat from Rasulullah Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam and Imam Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam are there, that they have given one context of what type of music is haram. They have said that the ghina or musiqi that resembles to the musiqi of number one, Laibul Hadith, Bayutul Ghina, number one, and number two, it is the music of Dawr Jahiliya, Asr Jahiliya. Now, let me clarify what is Asr Jahiliya. Those who have lived in Middle East, or those who have read Arabic music in Arabic language, they will find the diwan, the dawaween of those poets are still there, available in Sharjah bookshops, Dubai. Some of them I have also brought with me. For that music or for that poetry, nobody needs any hadith or ayat to say these are haram. Let me clarify. Because in Arabs, their culture, the pagan culture, the Jahiliya system was that there were mushairas. Mushaira is from Babe Mufaila, Fa'ala yuf'alu mufalatun, where there are two teams, Mushaira, Mubahasa, Munazara. So this was Mushaira. There are two teams, one team of men and the other team of women. We have in our childhood, we used to remember at one time our standard was there that we used to conduct and organize these poetic sessions. No, sorry, not Bayat Bazi. Right? The Bayat Bazi unfortunately has taken the shape of Antakshari. It became substandard. So our graph has gone down. Instead of going up from literature to higher literature, we have gone down, at least in this field. Okay. So in those mushairas, the men poets used to come and recite poetry, and after them, the one man poet, the male, followed by a female, followed by a male, followed by a female. Okay. So what was in their composition was, men used to recite the poetry, which I cannot read them now here, and when the women used to come, they used to recite and compose that poetry that again also I cannot read, I cannot repeat. Of course, the laya I could have repeated. Maybe anybody could see and they will say that, oh, he's displaying the ragas, and this. But I did not have that, and I went ahead for that. But for this, the language, I don't have expressions. You can find. So, a thing which you cannot see sitting together with your daughters, sisters, brothers, all together, do you still require some ayat sharifah to come saying this haram? Or you need any hadith to say that this is haram? No need. So what is haram and what is halal is touching to your common sense. It does not require ayat sharifah or hadith Rasul, because it touches to your reason, and below the level of reason it touches to your instinct. And instinct is the part of animal which we have as social animal, but we have the grant from Allah of aql. Aql is above that. Neither aql nor instinct touches and permits that to be seen. Why I am using the word instinct? If you see to the animal, or you consult any animal psychiatrist, veterinarian psychiatrist, then you come to know that even animals have certain thing called shame, which man, as Quran has said, that when man goes down to his level, he goes down the layer of even of animals. This is Quran. Bal azalluhum, they go below the level of animal. So what things an animal does not do, even such things man is doing. So based on that, there was no need for, even at the level of instinct, in the level of reason, to see such things in front of others without any problem or any issues or any shame, I can say. These are all haram. Okay. Touching to music of nature, we have, if you have a stethoscope, you can see the rhythm of your heart, the crests and troughs of the waves of your EEG. ECG we see, but usually we do not see EEG, but you can see EEG on YouTube. You can get electroencephalogram, because in 1 minute we have 72 pulse rate, 72 times our heart systole and diastole. But in 1 minute, maybe 1 lakh times we have the waves of brain. 1 minute. Brain is the most activest part of Allah's creation. I may be talking here, I am listening here, I am looking here. With every of the 5 senses which at one time I am doing, all those waves are working together. That's why after this stage Allah Azza wa Jalla says, فَتَبَارَكَ اللَّهُ أَحْسَنُ الْخَالِقِينَ. The most intricate, the most difficult mathematics and engineering is when you see to brain. Alhamdulillah al-Alamin. Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa ala Muhammad. So, something which touches to your common sense, there is no need to ask anybody. You can say this is haram and this is halal. Let me conclude with some few pages of this wonderful book. I tell you, this book is, first of all, it is a book by a great Iraqi alim, Abdul Hussain al-Fadli. He is a Mujtahid Jami Shariat. Basically, he is a Saudi national, and he gives dars in Najaf. It is his book. This is translated into Urdu. There are riwayat, I will go through. There is one riwayat of Amir al-Islam in Najl al-Balagha, that as body gets tired, so are the minds also get tired. So to make the minds healthy, relax, refresh, just change the course, change the subject. For example, I remember that Jaisima, who was one of the captain of Hyderabad team, he was very good player, test cricketer. He and Patodi used to play for 1 month sometimes tennis. That time they did not even used to see the cricket bats and balls for a change. Because when they come back from tennis, then they give a good performance in their actual game, actual sport. So change is always necessary for man. It is how Allah Azza wa Jal has created us. Change is mandatory. You cannot eat daily biryani. Sometimes you need khichdi also. In the same way, we need a change. So to make that change, why go for the change? Your profession is something like a doctor, a physician or engineer, but you go for a change of poetry or any other field, so that after going into that new field, when you come back, you get in the same way relaxed, and once one gets relaxed and is battery charged after a sound sleep, after a day's hard labor and hard work. Sleep is also necessary, so we get charged. In the same way, in your field, whether it is of medicine, law, engineering, education, if you want to be always alert, energetic, enthusiast, then you need to make a change. So in the same way, Maula Ali said at one place that as the body tires, in the same way your mind gets tired. So when such things happen, you change the course of your lifestyle for a certain period of time. Then you come back again. When you come back, so there you have bad patchwork. Meaning, getting great cricketers have had bad patch-up time. So when they changed, and when they came back, they came with a good comeback. So this is the change. The greatest discovery, Young, this is the 20th century very renowned psychiatrist, he says that the greatest miracle of the 20th century is that man has discovered that he can change. And Allah Azza wa Jalla says in Quran Majid, Inna Allah la yughayyiru ma bi qawmin hatta yughayyiru ma bi anfusihim. This change is just a fraction of a second of your thought process. That was the thought process that changed in a fraction of a second of the two magicians in the court of Pharaoh. That from kufr and shirk, they immediately changed to tawheed. They were so staunch muwahid that they were prepared to face any punishment which Pharaoh was to give. So everything starts from mindset. Your mind is the most powerful thing. Whatever you think, that will happen. So always go for a change for a positive, change with a thought strike. And I go through, Imam Ali says, this portion I will go through in Urdu because I can translate subsequently also. इस्लाम ने गिना को उन उमूर में क़रार नहीं दिया है जिनके तर्क करने से मुआशरा इनहिराफ का शिकार हो जाए। इस्लाम की नज़र में उसका ताल्लुक़ इन तफरीही उमूर में से है जिनके बारे में मौला कायनात इमाम अलैहिस्सलाम का इरशाद है, इन्नहा इलैहा तराइफुल हुक्म। दिस इज सेइंग नंबर 55 इन नहजुल बलागा। ये दिल इसी तरह उकता जाते हैं जिस तरह बदन उकता जाते हैं, लिहाजा जब ऐसा हो तो इनके लिए लतीफ़ और हकीमाना सरगर्मियाँ तलाश करो। कुछ अच्छे लेवल की चीज़ें, कुछ ऐसी चेंजेस दे रहा जाओ। ये now at another place this writer writes, okay, you have heard all riwayats regarding the hurmat of music. Now let me quote a riwayat on Hidayat of music. One of them is quoted here. It says that it was asked to Imam Sadiq al-Islam that our Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa ala Muhammad wa our companions, our Shias, sometimes they go for music, and what is your opinion with that? They go for picnics, outings, for entertainment. At the time they sing also. This riwayat has come with two different chains from two different narrators. In one he says, La basala. There is no problem in it. The second says, this is the handiwork of shaitan, but Allah is going to forgive this. Allah is going to forgive this. So, question is same, replies are two from two different riwayat. In one he says, La basala, there is no problem. For example, we go on picnics or for outing. It's not for profession, for a change. There are some cousins. Okay, one thing we have to maintain, that in such congregations, women should be separate and men should be separate. Usually this happens in our society. They don't sit together, even if they are of one family, of one tree. So there is no such thing if this is maintained, that music should be. Why I am emphasizing, why I am advocating this part of music to be taken into account. You cannot stop the youth, you cannot stop the people, because there are levels of iman. When we talk of hurma of music, we say, Taqwa says that we should be away from this. Taqwa says we should be of higher level iman. 200% you are correct. There is no doubt about it. But we are not talking of the deep levels of taqwa or higher levels of taqwa. We are talking about the boundaries of Islam. How Islam covers a wide range, a wide spectrum, where it starts from allowing this type of happenings up to the degree of where one not even go for even those which are permissible. Like tea is taking makruh, it is not haram. But a muttaqi will say, no, I don't take this also, because this is makruh. So these are the limits and levels of taqwa. But for those who are, we can say, as the neo-Muslims, NEO, who are the neo-Muslims, or those who are not well versed with Islam, to arrest their interest, to bring them in the fold of Islam, from where we will start? Are we going to make Muslims a one-day Muslim, or we want to make Muslim 50 minutes? Okay. Or we are going to make Muslim of a permanent a Muslim. For example, you stop? मैं जब तक बोलूँ उसको बोलूँगा आप हाँ कहने से okay. There is an incident in Dastan of Shahid Mutahari. It's a very good book. If you have not read, you can go through it. It is translated into English as well as in Urdu. There is one incident, a person, he makes another person Muslim. He converts a kafir into Muslim. He says, okay, what I have to do? Has anyone read this incident? Okay. He says, what I have to do after I become Muslim? He said, tomorrow morning you come to my home. So he comes in the morning. He comes. Huh? No. He says, come in the morning, then he takes to the masjid, they pray, and after the 2 rakah of Fajr, he asks, okay, what I have to do now? He said, see, these are the du'as, the all taqibat. Then he starts reading, he doesn't know Islam, his first day, so he reads all those taqibat. Then he says, okay, after this, after this, you have to read this. By the time it becomes the time of Zohar. Then he says, now the time of Salatul Zohar and Asr, you have to pray Zohar and Asr. He said, okay. He prays. Then after that, he said, these are the taqibat of Zohar and Asr. So by the time they cover all taqibat, it becomes the maghrib. Then it becomes the Isha. Then next day, the second day, third day, that new Muslim doesn't come. One day at the marketplace, he sees that, what happened? You did not come, you came, you became a Muslim and you are not coming. He said, no, I was Muslim for one day. I was Muslim for one day. Because to him, on the very first day, we gave him such booster doses that he ran away. Right? In the same way, in the disbursement of zakat, we have one clause of disbursing to mu'allafatul qulub. We give to poor, the needy, okay, zakat. And one of its head of account is to pay to kuffar for 2 reasons. Either to bring them into the fold of Islam, or if they are staunch, then by giving we can dilute their enigmatic thinking to Muslims, and as such we can reduce our chances of threat from them. So these are 2 head of accounts which come under zakat, under mu'allafatul qulub. Mu'allafatul qulub is opening of heart, making the heart dilute for Muslims or Islam. So our starting point for the youth of your age, or those young or younger, that like our brother sitting beside, no, not your, Yeah, okay. For them, in order to get them into the gravity of Islam, we have to start from this boundary line. Until we train them and bring to an extent where they say, no, this is makruh, but I will not do. This is mustahab, I will always do. This is makruh, I will never do. So I end up over here. Now, you can stop. Thank you. 1 minute. Wassalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad wa ajil farajahum wa sahil makhrajahum wa shunna ma'am warzuqna shafa'atuhum. Bismillahir rahmanir rahim. Allahumma kun li waliyika al-hujjat bil hasan. Salawatuka alayhi wa ala abaihi fi hadhihi as-sa'a wa fi kulli sa'a waliyyan wa hafidha wa qa'idan wa nasira wa dalilan wa aina hatta tuskinhum ardaka taw'a wa tamatti'u fiha tawila. اللهم اجعلنا من أعوانه وأنصاره وأتباعه وشيعته والراضين بفعله والضابين عنه والمستشهدين بين يديه. اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد وجل